Good afternoon, and I'll make it short, and I'm literally not making a pitch here. And I represent the Kerala Startup Mission, which is a nodal agency for running the startups in the state. But I'm also representing the state on other areas of entrepreneurship development, which have been done by the Industrial Development Agency and other agencies. That's how I'll do it. There's not too many slides on this, but then just to follow the structure that you had given me, I'll just have a quick introduction on what we have been doing, and then probably touch upon one slide each on all of those areas which I wanted to talk about. Yeah. Banking on to our strengths, like you had the legacy areas like Bangalore, who had a very big IT thing, or Andhra or Telangana, which had a IT legacy. So Kerala would have to leverage on its literacy and digital reach. So that's the area where we've been focusing on. Then we put the 2012 IT policy, we put a target to have around 3,000 startups. At that time, we thought it was too big, but then now with the numbers going, I think we need to see that. A small subsidized rental space was started in Technopark in 2002. No big incubation activities there as such, but then when DST approved incubator in 2006, it became a DST approved incubator, and then we followed it up. But why I present here this is because in 2012, when we had a young set of guys who graduated from our incubator, vendor came up and said that we will show you how to run a incubator. It's not the way you guys run it. And then they set up the incubator called Startup Village. The kind of energy and the movement that it could create in 3 years was much more than what we could create from 2002 to 2012. So that is what we've been trying to find out, what they did different. And they were quite nimble, their decisions were fast, they could take very stupid decisions, they could try out a lot more things. So my idea of showing this was in 2012, government realized that probably that's not the way to run an incubator, and then we brought all those incubation activities under one society chaired by the CM, and that's how we remodeled ourselves into Kerala Startup Mission, and then I look after that now. Of course, we are also in the process of building up a concentrated place where multiple incubators can come and play. So some kind of cross-pollination of idea happens, and you get a real good innovation coming out of the place. And in Kalamassery in Cochin, we are building a 13-acre campus with, again, I'll just go into the numbers of another 5 lakh square feet, and more than the numbers, it's going to be the presence of multiple incubators, where already a biotech incubators there, electronics incubators, telecom incubator being there. We're looking at a clean tech also. So that was the point. Well, have we done something on it? We already have a startup policy, it's due revision, and then now with the new government in place and also almost 3-4 years past, we'll be looking at some of the things that have been brought up under the Startup Action Plan to be incorporated. And obviously, one of the pain areas for Kerala is that it has been pretty much anti-entrepreneurial, like with all sort of pressures and issues on ease of the business. So we will be covering a lot more of that on our new policies. One of the areas we've been focusing on is the manpower. And that's one area which we have been, I think I'll touch upon when I look into the best practices. The self-certification regime is in place, and once the policy is out, that also will be done. And as everyone else is doing, we're also trying to allocate a part of the budget to the activities. Now, to talk about incubators, after we started the first incubator, there has been a host of incubators across the state. The good thing about not having any very big cities, but having a kind of a rural-urban continuum, we got incubators across the state and all parts of the state. So fairly being supported well, and with the host of schemes that are coming up with Government of India, with Nidhi, DST, Biotech, everybody is promoting incubators, so the institutions are taking up. So we probably will pull out of the incubation by per se and just be a facilitator as we should be. Now, is there anything that is there something to learn from what Kerala has been doing? I think probably the thing which you could learn from is that we like everyone would have done the same thing in different ways. We've done an integrated approach, like do an academic intervention, like catch them young. And we do a learn to code program at 8th standard students. Like this again is not started immediately. In 2002, we started a program called IT at School, which taught the kids IT in at a much smaller classes. So 8th standard kids, we gave them with Raspberry Pi, and then we asked them to come up with projects. Surprised with the kind of projects they came up, so we made a program to distribute 10,000 Raspberry Pi every year. And we also create an electronics corner, and I think that's an Ahmedabad-based startup, which is called Robo Innovations. We purchase directly from them and distribute in schools, so that kids can play around like a building bricks for electronics. So that also is coming up very well. Innovation challenge with the support of Intel, and then the IEDCs or boot camps we set up in all the 157 engineering colleges plus polytechnics across the state, and we constantly engage with them. With MIT, we have created this rapid prototyping labs in Trivandrum and Cochin, and now extending the same miniature version of the same to all the engineering colleges. My next set of 20 mini fabs have already been ordered. So the digital fabrication design thinking has been trying to be built into the curriculum. And in the academic intervention, what we have been trying to do is build everything into the curriculum. Don't add it over it, because the kids today are under tremendous pressure. Like if you give something more, they're going to find hard to get time for it. So we're just building into the curriculum. Then, like everywhere else, we have a student entrepreneurship policy, a technology startup policy, and a technical universities entrepreneurship policy, which gives them a gap year. I think Ahmedabad Technical University and all of this, similar to that. And now, what me as a CEO of Kerala Startup Mission and our organization does, we work on creating the elements of ecosystem which are very much there in mature ecosystems like Bangalore and NCRs, and which is we can create the elements, like we have been building the elements piece by piece, right from innovators, startups, funders, everyone. But then the more important part is getting the elements to talk to each other, and that we are trying to facilitate through the creation of infrastructure and the digital media. And then the entrepreneurial capacity building is done with the help of IIM Kozhikode and a UN certified program called Empretech. So that's what we are trying now. Academic intervention is give them a project, Raspberry Pi kit, teach them learn to code, and then a challenge with Intel, and they come up as a DIY, do-it-yourself guy. Not all of them become entrepreneurs. This is just to create that innovative techno-innovation culture in them. And in the colleges, we create the boot camps, we tie up with the student policy, entrepreneurship policy. Then we give them some gadgets which they find it very hard to buy. We call it as startup boxes, nice to have. And then the MIT Fab Labs. We have a tie-up with the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and then finally, taking up for the connecting with the R&D institution. That's a virtual platform we are trying to create. I think I have a very small one with our thing, but we have to create. This is my entire gamut of activities, or rather my job description of getting things done. This is a scheme that we implement. You could see the Learn to Code, Raspberry Pi, Fab Labs, all the stuff there. And also we have tied up with ENY to form an accelerator. It's called a Key Accelerator. And then with NASCOM to form a 10K startup. This is my 13-acre campus, biotech incubator there. The electronics incubator is there, which is supported by DAITI, biotech incubator by DBT. We've requested STPI to build an office block because we need the skills there. We've been very much on product startups, but then what we find out as a major lacking in the system is the skills to develop that. So if you graduate all your guys off, these guys will not get people to work on that. So we're requesting STPI to support us with a building which will be solely for graduated kind of startups, so then they'll be there. And then we're also creating an accommodation dormitory and all the stuff. So this will be the campus where all of them will concentrate. And for that matter, this is not exclusively for Kerala startups, this is for startups. We celebrate youth entrepreneurship. So Kerala State Industrial Development Corporation has been creating this event 2014 onwards, where people come in and then they try and, this is just a meeting place for all of them. We're not going to convert, evangelize anything. Just they come and that energy is tremendous. So then last year they did a collaborative network with calling in VCs and other funding agencies. Yeah, I don't vouch for all those factors which determine that women are on a high status. But then the point is, when I did a study on it, I only have 8% or less women entrepreneurs. With a state which boasts of a higher female ratio, a higher women education, that is very pathetic. So we are trying to focus on that. And yeah, with the help of MSME and other agencies involved in it, we are trying to leverage this boom of startups into the traditional industries, handlooms and other stuff. Quite a bit of work is going on that sector. Funding, we have a small seed fund started with the DST funding, and we also increased through our state budgets. And the patent support we are already discussed in our policy. KSIDC does a bit of angel and seed funding, which is a part of their job. And the Kerala Financial Corporation is an agency which does a debt funding without collateral. And then we have some financial institutions and HNIs who are typically the guys who have made money somewhere want to put it in. And a few VCs which are not present in Kerala. I request them from various places to come over and see the startups. That's how it is. We are requesting SIDBI to see that whether we can set a fund. I'm done. The funding models, typical whatever happens in all the other places. The future plans, sector specific, as we said, multi-sectoral thing. The district industry center is setting up, or changing rather, all their offices into general purpose incubators in all districts. And a multi-domain innovation zone I spoke about, the startup fund, which I referred to, the virtual platform, which I think is going to be a major area. Self-declaration is now going to be announced. And the internal market creation, like everyone was saying, government is going to purchase out of it. Summary, don't look at the star part of it, it's just a breakaway thinking because some magazine brought out a lot of ranking. I found out our startups there, so I put it there. The summary is that we have an ecosystem, events are being conducted, funding is being arranged, local market creation is being done, academic incubators are being done. Finally, Kerala has started accepting entrepreneurial failures. We have been very agnostic to this, and then I think now that culture has changed. I think that's all from my side. Thank you.